Good evening. It's now time to call the Planning Commission to order. Please rise and follow. How about Commissioner Ortiz? Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
All right, place your right hand over your heart. Follow after me. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the Deputy City Clerk please call roll?
Yes, Commissioner Uva,
Present.
Commissioner Duarte,
Present.
Vice Chair Ortiz,
Present.
and Chair Owens.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. This is the time set aside for oral communications from the Planning Commission. Does any commissioner wish to make an announcement or report on a conference or meeting or request items for a future agenda? Commissioner Duarte.
None.
Commissioner Uva.
None.
And Commissioner Ortiz.
And I have none.
And I have none. Thank you. Does the interim community development director have any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Thank you. Does the interim community development director have any presentations?
No presentations tonight.
Thank you. Does the interim community development director have a report on city council actions?
No items to report tonight.
Thank you. Now is the time set aside for the public hearing for Code Amendment PLN-22-00155. This item, are we correct here? The item is continued to be continued to a date certain, January 18?
We would actually like to change that to a date uncertain. We are hoping to bring it back on the 18th, but we wanted to leave that and we'll renotice it again for the public when it's ready.
All right. So there's no discussion on this item. At this time, though, can I have a motion to continue this item to a date certain or uncertain?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Please vote.
I'm pressing, but
No action?
no action.
Hold your hand up.
Okay, well, we'll consider that a yes, if you'll confirm, please. The motion passes 4-0 to continue PLN 22-00155 to a date uncertain. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just end the vote.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
We can
gotcha.
go on.
Okay. Now is the time set aside for public hearing for conditional use permit application PLN 22-00133. Does the city clerk, deputy city clerk, have proof of this publication?
Okay, yes.
Thank you. Will the interim community development director introduce staff making the presentation?
Our presentation will be given by our assistant planner, Abraham Luna.
Can you hear me now? Good evening, Honorable Chair, Commissioners, and members of the audience. The item before you is PLN 22-00133, a request for conditional use permit to allow the sale of beer and wine and distilled spirits at an eating establishment. The applicant is Ralph Verdugo. The new business of Verdugo Steakhouse, formerly in the property of Marie Canders, is located at 7860 Florence Avenue, within the south side of Florence Avenue and Tweedy Lane. The property is developed with a single tenant space, with majority of its parking in the rear. The property is zoned C1 Neighborhood Commercial, with similar commercial uses to the east and west, C2 General Commercial to the north, and R1 residential properties to the south. With regards to the subject site, the property is approximately 73,600 square feet and is improved with a single tenant commercial building of 5,124 square feet. The site has 45 parking spaces, with 2 of them being ADA stalls. The site is currently underparked with 7 parking spaces. However, since this is a continuation of use from restaurant to restaurant, it does comply with our development standards. The applicant has submitted tentative improvements for building in December of 2021 and is currently finalizing construction. Such improvements consisted of expansion of public restrooms, which you can see in blue, and added seated bar area, which you can see in red, and a remodel to the existing dining area towards the front of the building. And on the screen, you can see that on the right. The site is currently has a conditional use permit for an ABC license of type 41, which allows the sale of beer and wine. However, the applicant wishes to upgrade the license to type 47, which will allow the additional sale of distilled spirits to complement the type of food menu served at this restaurant. The hours of operation for this restaurant are Sunday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m., and Friday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. On October 13th, a development review committee was held and no concern or opposition were expressed. All departments provide standard comments for this project. And this concludes staff presentation. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. At this time, do any commissioners have questions of staff? Commissioner Ortiz?
I have none. I'll hold my questions for a little later.
All right. Commissioner Uva?
Yes, I do have a few questions. So in reading the staff report, it appears that this applicant has satisfied all the requirements in order to allow the consumption of a general liquor under ABC 47 type license. That's correct, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. So just for purposes of clarification, we have other restaurants in our city here in Downey that have the same type of license, right? It's very common, right?
Correct.
Okay. In your opinion, how does this restaurant compare to other restaurants that have obtained the same type of ABC license? And I'm kind of referring to like proximity to residential, homes, the size of the restaurant, the hours of operation. Is it all very similar?
So a more recent project that you guys may remember would be Chicken Coop, which was abutting against commercial uses on either side and residential to the rear. So that's a very similar project in size and in this proximity to residential properties. As far as the hours of operation, it's still the same hours of operation applied to Chicken Coop. As far as others in the city, it may be similar hours of operation as well. As far as proximity to residential, I'm sure there is a couple of other restaurants that do have license for alcohol. Further explain on that, we have on that same street, Next Burger that has alcohol license, Bob's Big Boy on Firestone, Uncle Henry's Deli on Florence.
So when you say alcohol, do you mean beer and wine and hard liquor? What do you mean by alcohol?
So for these specifically that I just named, that is type 41.
Okay.
Specifically for type 47 for this same use, Del Rio Lanes is the nearest one that has that.
Okay, the
Yeah,
bowling alley.
The bowling alley, correct.
Okay, in their little restaurant. Okay, got
Correct.
it. Okay. The next question I'm gonna ask you, but maybe the applicant will be able. I'm not sure. So I noticed in the staff report that there's a bar area of 427 square feet. In this bar area, will patrons be allowed to consume alcohol and eat, or do you know the answer to that?
Wouldn't necessarily, I believe.
I'm sorry, if I can get clarification, the bar area, the CUP that's before us tonight, that doesn't set any requirements that the ABC license would apply to the whole thing. So that question is probably best suited for the applicant and how their business practice is going to be
Yeah,
operating.
that's fine. That's kind of what I thought. Okay. I don't see anything in our staff report about security. And is that not necessary?
So police comments, particularly for security, are mainly provided when there's live entertainment.
Okay.
happening. And for this project, there's no live entertainment happening. So standard comments from police were provided.
Okay. And then my last question, I think you kind of went over it just now in your report. The parking deficit is satisfied because the existing restaurant was the same type of business, so it carries over to this restaurant. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioner Duarte, question.
Yes. Do we know if the applicant has previously held a type 47 license?
Perhaps maybe not in the city, but I believe the applicant could maybe further elaborate on that when he comes up.
I know, I'll hold my rest of the questions for the applicant.
And I have no questions. Thank you. Before I open the public hearing and call the applicant or his or her representative, this would be the time for planning commissioners to disclose any pre-hearing site visits or pre-hearing discussions that the commissioners may have had about the project. Commissioner Ortiz, please.
I did have several residents reach out to me in opposition of the project. I advised them to please share their thoughts at today's meeting.
Thank you. Ms. Uva?
Yes, and I had the same thing. Residents contacted me, and I advised them to attend tonight's meeting.
And Commissioner Duarte?
I had two, John Negrete and Jerry Brown contact me in favor of the applicant.
Okay, thank you. And I have none. The public hearing is now open. Will the applicant or his or her representative please come forward to give testimony? And for the record, please, name and address.
Yeah. Ralph Verdugo, 8610 Guatemala Avenue, Downey, California, 90240.
Please tell us about what you're bringing to town. It's been a long time. We're excited to have you back. Please tell us about your project.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be back. And good evening, commissioners. So the new project we have here in Downey is, I'm a longtime resident. I've been in Downey, living in Downey for 33 years. Downey's my home. My kids go to school here, Arnsworth, Doty, and my oldest one just graduated from Bear, Warren. The project that I'm bringing here is, in Downey, we need a steakhouse. When you hear of a steakhouse, a full-blown steakhouse, people think of Del Rey, Mastro's, or all those places. No, we need to keep money in Downey. There's enough beautiful areas in Downey so we could do this. So what I proposed and brought together was building a steakhouse that we could all be proud of, a family steakhouse. I didn't apply for entertainment because I don't want entertainment. I don't want a dance. I don't want a party. No, I want a family based restaurant. I want you to take your wife, your kids, your grandkids, and have a good time. What we're doing is Verdugo Steakhouse. Verdugo Steak. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You? Come on.
So,
I got him, didn't I?
what I'm doing here is very simple. I'm bringing something that my children could be proud of, that my mother could be proud of. I'm bringing something where we have amazing steaks, salads, and desserts. Being a chef myself, I always say, don't ever trust a skinny chef. Yeah, and with a minimal option of vegan, we're gonna have 5 to 8 items that are vegans, because there's a lot of people that are doing vegan or vegetarian, right? We're bringing in a pastry chef that's from Monterrey, Mexico, but she studied all her life in France. So we're doing a fusion of Mexican with French desserts. Our steaks are going to be from tomahawk, ribeye, filet mignons. We're even bringing in alligator and bison, wagyu. We have 280 wines that you're going to be able to pair with. We're going to have sommelier. The bar that you see, I don't know if some of you follow me on social media, but I just actually released a video today. It is not just because it's mine. It's It's one of the most beautiful places in the surrounding areas. I don't want you to go to Mastro's. I don't want you to go to Del Rey. Although I'm a big fan of Del Rey, it's an institution, and that's what motivated me to bring something like that, but better to Downey. Our food, gosh, the cooks of Del Rey dine at my other restaurant. I own Buena Mesa restaurant here in Southgate. And we're very community inspired. For everything we do is for the community. And I'm not just saying this because those of you who know me know the person that I am. And, God, family, and country. That's what I stand for. What we're bringing here is something that I want you to be proud of. Some people might not agree with having more liquor licenses, and that's okay. I completely understand that. But it's not, you asked a question earlier about that bar, that separate bar, and let me answer it. I don't want to make it a place where, hey, let's go get drunk at Verdugo's. No, there's a reason why I made the bar small. For, let's say, less than 500 feet, it's not much, but it's gorgeous. The bar, the ceiling. I grabbed Marie counters and I twisted it in, broke it and opened it and dug it and put everything from the brand new. So look, I'm getting chicken bumps. Goosebumps. And no, but we are gonna have some amazing chicken. I don't want people to think that way. When you see the bar, there's a bar in the front as soon as you come in. So all the bars that are there, one of the bars is 25 feet long. The other one's 20, but it angles. The beautiful part about that bar, it was a tree that was in the back abandoned. I don't know if you guys remember El Taco. It's there. There was a tree that somebody just decided to trim and kill it. They tried to kill it. And for 20 years, that tree's been bald. I took that tree down and I made it. I hired some incredible woodworkers. Look, I could have got it cheaper and done it on marble like everybody else does. We took this tree and made slabs out of that tree. And now that tree, it sits in 2 bars. The bar in the front, it's not a drinking bar. It is a salad bar and a dessert bar. So when you come in, you could sit down. Yeah, you can have your cocktail there, but the bar's over here. When you go to the bar in the back, we're going to encourage you. If you're with 4 people, your table's ready. Would you like to just get you a table? We don't want to have people on the bar. We have maybe about 6 seats, I believe, at the bar. And the reason why we want the bar students to move. Again, we have some beautiful TVs. We have the ceilings are incredible. Raise your hands if you remember Marie Callender's. You've been there before, sure. Right? So one of the things I did, Marie Callender left a lot of things behind. So this is where my English gets messed up. Homage. Homenaje? Pay homage. What the guy said. So I grabbed all those things that they left behind, and I literally made an homage to Marie Callender's. Yeah, because Marie Kondo was a big part. I remember being a kid, and who doesn't love those pies? Those lemon meringue pies. I'm a carrot cake guy. So they left the machine behind, the oven, a huge, beautiful yellow oven from the 50s. You know, the ones that are yellow and have that paint, like enamel, you know what I'm talking about?
Bakelite enamel,
baked, right. So it's yellow. So I hired somebody to detail and bring it back to life. Beautiful. So one of the things we're gonna do every holiday, we're gonna fire it up and make pies and sell them. Unfortunately, we can't call them, what he said to Marie Callender's, an homage to Marie Callender's. I don't want Marie Callender to be my business partner later. But that's what we want to do. We want to bring all that stuff back. We want to be able to work for our community. And if there's something wrong, if anybody's got a question, if anybody's got a problem, we have a number where you could call and say, hey, you know what? There's a car parked outside, or the music's loud. I don't see how the music could be loud because all those doors are always closed. They're always closed. And the residents behind me are probably 200 feet away from us. And there's no outside music, no amplified music. Inside, we're gonna have music. We're gonna do the whole Frank Sinatra, Billie Holiday type of vibe, small, no Bad Bunny. No offense to the Bad Bunny fans. But I want you to be proud and for you to dine, and when you try our food and say, yes, this is what we want in Downey. This is what we needed in Downey. And I hope you guys feel as strong as I do and as strong as my family and friends do. Sure. And thank you for your time, and I hope you consider us.
Thank you, Mr. Newberger. Has there been any correspondence in favor and/or in opposition?
Yes, Chair. One comment was submitted, and I will start the timer and read it now.
Chair, if I may, can we ask questions to the applicant?
Yes, I did, okay, I might be a little out of order, but yes, let's go back to that, right? So, Mr. Verdugo, yes, if you would pleasure us for a few more minutes. Now it's time to ask questions of the applicant from the commission. Commissioner Ortiz, any questions, please?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, sir.
So I just wanted to share, as someone who comes from a restaurant family, when you talk about restaurants and building up restaurants, even I'm getting goosebumps right now. So I share
Chicken bumps.
Oh, chicken. So I just want to say that I share that sentiment.
Thank you.
I do have just two questions for you. Number one, you said that you wanted to bring a steakhouse where there's light music and no dancing. Are you opposed to having no dancing as part of your CUP?
Yeah, no dancing whatsoever, and I requested for no live entertainment whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other question is the kitchen going to be open till 2:00 in the morning?
No, sir. The 2:00 in the morning is like mainly for special events. All my other restaurants, I do 2:00 in the morning just so I don't fall out of it. Somebody wants to stay a little longer. We have a special event. We have a wedding. That's the only reason. But mainly it's going to be closed around 12:00.
12:00.
Yeah, being a resident of Downey and ordering a lot of DoorDash sometimes, it's hard to find places that are open past 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The only questions I have.
Okay.
Commissioner Uva, please.
So you have 44 conditions of approval. I'm sure you're aware of the 44 conditions. No live entertainment of any kind, no loitering, et cetera. You feel very strongly from what you're saying that you can comply with all of these rules and regulations, correct?
We are a family restaurant. Absolutely, we can.
Okay. When you did your initial application, I think it's going back a year, in December of last year, correct? To start the improvements and all that
Yes.
stuff, which that's a long time. I mean,
Yes.
that's wonderful. When you did the licensing for ABC, I guess you initially did a type 41, and then you subsequently changed it now to a 47. Why didn't you just do it all from the beginning?
No, because it was a big confusion and misunderstanding on our part. We thought that the CUP runs with the land, and normally in most cities, unless you have live entertainment, you don't need to apply for a liquor license. Every other restaurant out here that's new automatically comes with a 47. The 41 wasn't us; it was Marie Callender's, and it was back in 1979.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. Commissioner Ortiz kind of addressed it. The hours of operation are a concern to me because of the liquor and being open till 2 in the morning. I can't imagine anyone, any family, any person wanting to go out for a steak anytime after 12 midnight. But you kind of just answered that. It sounds like you're probably going to be closing closer to the midnight hour unless it's a special occasion.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
my pleasure.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Duarte, questions of the applicant?
I think the most important question I have is, how'd you come up with the name?
I'm sorry.
How'd you come up with the name? That's the most important question.
How do what?
How'd you come up with the name?
Oh, hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ralph Verdugo.
Very creative.
Yeah, please don't Google the name in English.
That's where I was
It
going.
means executioner. Executioner of restaurants.
I have no questions of the applicant.
Thank you. And I have none. Thank you for your
Thank you, sir.
presentation.
Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, so we covered the correspondence,
I still
and you
need
were going to read it.
Yes.
Please.
Okay, so we'll start this again. This comment was submitted by Luis Morales. Dear Planning Commission and City Staff, I am submitting this email in support PLN 22-00133, which is request for Type 47 on-sale general alcohol at proposed restaurant located at 7860 Florence Avenue, Verdugo Steakhouse. The proposed restaurant is a bona fide restaurant that replaces a similar restaurant use, Marie Callender's, that was in place for many decades. The addition of a Type 47 does not create any impacts, and all the findings under the proposed CUP are met. The proposed project will act as a catalyst in the area to promote economic development activity and meets the goals and objectives of the land use element of the general plan. The Type 47 will provide the proposed restaurant with the requisite tools to be competitive and provide patrons a more complete dining experience and elevate the restaurant to be in a better position to be a regional destination. All restaurants of the caliber proposed by the applicant have Type 47 licenses, and a Type 47 is essentially a requirement to be a successful and viable business. Moreover, I would encourage the Planning Commission to not impose a condition of approval that restriction the hours of operation of the restaurant. The proposed location is in my district, and as a former District 3 Planner Commissioner from 2009 to 2017, this project meets the criteria to fill the void for a much-needed steakhouse with minimal to no impacts. In addition, the applicant, Ralph Verdugo, is also a Downey resident that is involved in many charitable events in our city and is investing in our community. Therefore, I request that after public testimony that the Planning Commission approve the request for conditional use permit for Type 47 on sale general alcohol at 7860 Florence Avenue. Thank you for your consideration, and if you have any questions, please feel free to call, email, or text me. Sincerely, Luis Morales.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So at this time, is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor and/or opposition of the application? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is William Richard, and I actually live behind the proposed location at 7885 Basinger Street. And I wanted to shed some light, maybe, I don't know how well you know Mr. Verdugo, but I'm a retired captain with Southgate Police Department. And our police department and our city and the community have a very good working relationship with Mr. Verdugo. I noticed that somebody made a comment about his charitable events. I thought maybe that was his full-time job because that's how I know him, through all the fundraisers and stuff that he's done for the city of Southgate. I know that the restaurant he has in Southgate is a top-notch restaurant. We don't have any incidents that require the response from law enforcement unless someone's breaking into the place. So I know with the city of Southgate, we were very happy with Mr. Verdugo. And I know as a citizen of Downey, I'm excited about, not quite as excited as Ralph with the goosebumps, but I'm excited about having the restaurant, even though I don't drink and I'm not a big steak eater, but I know that that location really warrants a nice restaurant where I know that me and my family could just walk to the restaurant. And I would encourage the commissioners to please approve this conditional use permit. And I know from experience that you won't regret it. And I appreciate you allowing me to speak to you tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Basin. Please.
Thank you. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Ernesto Valle, and I'm a longtime volunteer, primarily in youth organizations. So I'm here to ask that you approve this. Being in youth sports, I know that it's sometimes difficult to issue liquor license, right, for the safety, the concern of the citizens, and all that good stuff. I know that there's a few people that may have a concern about how this impacts our community. With that said, this gentleman right here just said a lot of the values that this gentleman brings to the table, the charity work, all the things that he does. He's a class act. Now, to alleviate those concerns is I think that the city of Downey recently has approved other restaurants that are less favorable. They followed all the rules, and I don't want to mention my name, but they're here. And I think that this is a place that brings class back to Downey. This is a place that we desperately need because we are Downey. Jokingly, I say without offending anyone, it's a running joke, the Mexican Beverly Hills, right? But we have no classy food places. He mentioned a few that we have to drive out. Why would we drive out to these diners to spend our hard-earned money when we could bring that to Downey and put a name to Downey that brings the type of people, the type of money. I'm sure that when they pass our beautiful city going to his restaurant, they'll see what Downey's all about. And again, bringing that class back. The type of alcohol that he's going to be serving as well is also it's not going to be, as he mentioned, a bar, a nightstand, somewhere to a floozy, so to speak. It's going to be a respectable place of business, and that liquor does add to the flavor of what he's going to be serving. So again, as a resident, as someone that deals with youth, I don't see it as a problem because I think that there's going to be a lot of responsible people. It's a great person running it, someone with integrity and class and knows how to run a business. And I think it's doing the right thing by bringing this that's going to add to the value of our city and our citizens. So again, thank you for your time, and I hope that you do consider in approving this.
Thank you.
Good evening. I don't know Mr. Verduzco at all, but we definitely need something to fill in the spot over there where Marie Callender's was. It's a nice touch to bake some pies, maybe on holidays, in remembrance of Marie Callender, or pay homage, I guess, is what we want to do. We don't necessarily have to do that, but we could use definitely a steakhouse, a sit-down steakhouse in this town, not just a pickup bar, till 2 o'clock in the morning or anything like that. I mean, obviously he wants to sell more than beer and wine, and that's okay, but you can't lay all the blame at the owner of the restaurant with what people are going to do. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. And sometimes maybe they'll get out of hand, maybe they won't, but that remains to be seen. But I think you ought to go a little above and beyond and assist Mr. Verduzco in establishing a restaurant in this town and have some backbone, because we need some in the city and in the state. Roll back all the regulations that you could have do. And I'm specifically talking about COVID-19 restrictions. Let him be exempt from mask mandates, vaccine mandates, any of these type of restrictions, which we know we've been lied to repeatedly, and let him run his business in a free market capitalist type of situation. That's what we want here in Downey. We're tired of the regulations and the over-regulations, the disinformation and misinformation that comes from people who just want to regulate on everybody. Let him bring alligator. I'm not going to go there to buy alligator, I'll tell you that right now, but a filet mignon, sure, we'd definitely go for that. It's not a dance place, and it seems like it would be closed in time, and I think in that part of town, we definitely could use something like that. Please approve this for this young man. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Art Verdugo. As you tell by last name, he's my uncle, but tonight I'm speaking to you not as a family member, somebody biased, but as actually somebody that patrons his restaurant periodically, and not because he's my family member, it's because his restaurants are amazing. You go there and, every time he brings out something new. He's so passionate about what he does. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to do with the steakhouse and everything he tells you. But he's only told you guys like that much of what it is. It's just so much more behind it. And, to answer your question, Commissioner Carmela, as far as the hours for alcohol operation, like myself, I'm a young adult professional. I'm 40 years old. I do okay. And I go to a lot of events in downtown LA. Sometimes when you get out, you come back, what time is it, 11? Hey, let's go grab a steakhouse in Downey by the house. Let's go do something local so you don't have to drive out to who knows where to get something delicious. Like you say, he wants to keep everything here. Why not let him? So, tonight I ask you guys, commissioners, please approve this for him. I promise you won't regret it.
Yes. Thank you. Hi, good evening.
Everybody. I'd like to extend my gratitude for the Planning Commission to allow us to speak on behalf of Mr. Ralph Verdugo in regards to Verdugo's restaurant. My name is Kim Gomez. I am currently his general manager at his current restaurant, and I have known Mr. Verdugo for the better part of 22 years, 22 years, and 15 of those years I have worked for him. The thing about Mr. Verdugo is when he has a vision and he brings it to fruition, everybody wins, right? The community, the city, the patrons, the residents, and the world has been such a difficult, challenging place these last few years. And for the vision that Mr. Verdugo has for the city of Downey, I think will bring so much, not only to the city, but to the residents. It will bring, we all know that it's not just the residents that encourage the revenue, but it's bringing people from the outside coming in, right? We want to make Verdugo's a staple of Downey, so that way it puts Downey on the map as having a great steakhouse, right? It brings a good element into Downey. And we all know that a boss is only as good as his staff. His staff, I can attest to, are some of the most genuine, hardworking, conscientious people that you will have, and they will provide quality service. And you can't get that anywhere. And it's been such a hard time that we've all had, getting back to normalcy, being able to go and sit with your family, have nice fine dining, is something that I believe the city of Downey needs, and he will bring it. You know, he will bring his philanthropic sense of community, and he will help bring the community together. He will definitely put Downey on the map. So if you could all please definitely consider approving anything that he has for the future of Verdugo's, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I need to lift this up more. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, good.
Thank you, commissioners. I know a few of you guys here. I appreciate you guys giving your time in the evening. I'm actually a resident, a business owner. I do a lot of business here, real estate. I actually run my real estate brokerage out here, and I've been a friend of Ralph for a long time. And as you can see, my body type supports a lot of these local businesses, right? Being that is we do a lot of steakhouses in the real estate community, and we definitely do always have to be driving out or putting our money, our commission to other businesses. So I want to be in support of Verdugo Steakhouse. He's an amazing individual. You have to look at the leadership behind the restaurant, and I would attest to you, being a leader myself, that this guy is always giving back. And not just because he gives back is why you want to approve his restaurant, but he runs a good business. I saw the restaurant where he's over there in Southgate go through so many different owners, right, over and over, and his restaurant has been the one that's lasted the longest. That's because of the leadership that he brings, the type of person that he is for the community. He's always giving back. So I know that his restaurant is going to be definitely one of those favorites here. And I definitely enjoy a nice filet mignon. So I don't want to have to drive to Pico or downtown LA to get it. I want to get it here in Downey. I only live a few blocks away from there, and I'm all for it. So hopefully you guys can approve everything with no restrictions. Thank you.
Name is Edwin Acevedo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am a business owner for the last 7 years here in Downey. I own a Century 21 here in the corner of Florence and Lakewood. And I'm here because, just like the many fine ladies and gentlemen here, is in support of Ralph Verdugo. Ralph Verdugo is a character that doesn't come that often. It's like once in a lifetime. His character, his honesty, his integrity, his commitment to giving back to the community is bar none the best I've seen. And, you know, I stepped out of my office tonight. I usually go home to my kids, but I came here tonight because this should show the support that my friend here is bringing to the city of Downey. I'm a huge, for those who know me, I'm a huge steak guy. I love steaks, and I go, finally, we have something in Downey. Finally, we can now make negotiations and at Verdugo Steakhouse versus Del Rey. You know, we can have that. And I know for a fact that this business is going to flourish to levels that we have not seen before. this is a new generation of restaurants and business owners for the city of Downey. And the batons are being passed on right now as we speak. I'm a young business owner. He's relatively a young business owner. You know, you need to shave off. I'm sure you look younger. But at the end of the day, following what the captain had said and friends and business owners, I can't say enough. It's gonna bring revenue. As a businessman, definitely gonna bring revenue. I know the concerns are out there regarding the music and everything else. I know that based on what he said, nothing like that is gonna happen. So it's gonna be a fine, respected restaurant. Definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Everyone here, I'm sure, going to be trying his steaks and what have you. It's going to be a nice family restaurant, like I said. So I'm going to be there now more often than not because it's closer to my business. So I'll be there after a close of escrow. I'll be there if escrow cancels. It doesn't matter. I'll be there. I just can't wait. So I'm excited. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Arvizu, and I want to make a formal complaint. I'm a business owner, and I'm a homeowner here in Downey. I have multiple businesses, and throughout these 3 years that I've known Ralph, I hate taking my business to other cities, and I've had to do so because his restaurant is in Southgate. And I feel more comfortable taking my clients to Southgate because of the service that he provides. Not only does he provide great service, but he's extremely charitable, and he helps out so much in so many different areas that it would be an error not to get him approved. So I hope that today, with all his friends, with his family, and with all of us involved, that he gets approved.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I am a 31-year resident of Downey. My children have gone to Warren, Downey. We attend the church here. I would just like to say that we do need something as a steakhouse. We need something in that category and at that caliber. Me personally, I do like a good steak. I don't want to drive all the way to Marina Del Rey to go to Ruth's Chris anymore. I'm getting older. I don't want to go to Los Alamitos. I like La Habra, but I would really like to have my dinner here. When we have family gatherings, I would like to bring my children or my grandchildren to have dinner or birthday or anything there. The area does need something there. Again, Ralph is a very honest person. I know him. He treats my daughter very well. So she did go to Downey High School. So we're all local Downeys. We've been here long-time Downey residents. And I do know that we do need something of this, caliber here so that I can spend my money here. And I'm probably speaking for a lot of residents. Once they experience Ralph's restaurant, we will stay here. We don't have to go out anymore. Or go out of the city, and the revenue will stay here. Me personally, I've never been to Del Rey. I've been to other places outside the city, and I would really appreciate it if you would consider approving this restaurant, and it will bring a lot of revenue because of all the people that Ralph does know, and they do appreciate him, and they believe in him. And I would really appreciate it if you would consider this restaurant. Because, like I said, this is Downey, and I love Downey, and I'll always love Downey. And we do need a restaurant here, like a steakhouse. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anyone else? Please.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and I'd like to speak on behalf of Ralph Verdugo. Where do I start? He's an amazing person with an amazing heart. He's a great human being, and when he has a vision and he sets his mind and has a goal, it happens. He's been trying to bring something nice to Downey for years now, and every time he gets close, it just hasn't happened yet. But now is his opportunity to be able to do that. And if I can just share with you, his excitement and his ideas. And I mean, he can be in the middle of something and like, wait, I have an idea. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Or he sees something that nobody else sees, and he does it every single time. And I'm amazed by that. And I'm excited and I'm happy. I've been a part of Downey. I went to Spencer, I went to East, West, they don't call it anymore, but when I came here, that's what it was. I graduated from Warren High School, and I've seen Downey grow, I've seen it change, I've seen it, all the things that it's gone through. And I know that with something like Verdugo's here in Downey is exactly what we need. It's exactly what, it's long overdue. And like I said, we have our kids, we want to stay in Downey. We don't want to have to drive out to other cities. We don't want to have to drive long distances. We want to be able to say, hey, let's go to great meal, great steak, great desserts, and let's stay right here at home. Let's go down the street. We're safe. We're close to home. We don't have to drive long distances. And I'm really excited. And like his nephew said, it's just a tiny piece of what he's been able to tell you and share with you here today. But it's going to be amazing. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see him flourish and grow and do and accomplish what he wants to do and bring here to Downey. And we're all excited, and he has tons of support. He has a great community behind him, and we want to see it happen. And we deserve to have it here. We deserve to have a Verdugo's here. So thank you.
Hi, good evening, Commissioners. I'm Dorothy Pemberton. I'm a lifelong resident, so I've seen everything come and everything go. And yes, we can agree there's a big void that's needed with the steakhouse. So I wish Mr. Verdugo well. I don't know him really at all. We've had Marmax here. Marmax has been the last big beef place. I live across from Rio Hondo Golf Course, so we have the event center. And when it was dormant and quiet when it was being built, you could hear a pin drop and it's quiet. When they remodeled, it got loud again, and we have to accept it. They do close at midnight. My father-in-law lives on Basinger, and it's been very quiet. He's already told us that it's not going to have entertainment, which many of the people that I've spoke with were concerned about. And we have a neighbor here, I think you remember me. Good evening. So my concern was just the time frame. It being a family steakhouse, what's been there before, have things been open to 2 a.m.? I know the loitering in parking lots, that's not his responsibility, but it affects the neighborhood. So in a sense, I'm speaking to be mindful of the neighborhood that you're around. When Gloria's came in after Harvey's Broiler, everybody was looking for that. They enjoyed it. Now it's like a debacle. The neighborhood around Gloria's with the excess overparking, the noise after they close, the music. I hear from neighbors. I worked across the street here. I work at Century 21. I see the fenced-in yard. It'll be nice to have it removed and have it come to life again. But I also hear from neighbors in that area by Gloria's that the noise and how late do they close? How late do they stay open? If it is a steakhouse, for the family to late, is midnight enough rather than 2 a.m. so that people can come out like Rio Hondo in the parking lot and you'll hear the noise? So that's just a concern that I have for speaking for people that I know and residents in the area. They are all, relatively working, ready and willing to go to try it because that's what we do need. But be mindful of the residents and how late it stays open. All right, that's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Downey Sanchez. Grew up in Southgate. I heard Southgate earlier. I've been to Rafa's restaurant in Southgate. I'm a Southgate police officer. I've been there for 21 years, currently assigned to Detective Bureau. But I live in Downey. I went to see Rafa on a business-related issue. I sat down with him. I talked to him. Never met him. We started talking about our background, where we grew up. And I was very impressed by Rafa. His background, his commitment to the community, giving back. We shared a lot of the same values. And that stuck with me. We became friends right away. Since then, I've been back to eat at his restaurant. I've enjoyed his food. I enjoyed talking to him. He became a very good friend of mine. I love Southgate. I love when I'm working. I like going to this restaurant to eat. But since I live in Downey, I wouldn't mind a closer drive. Very convenient for me, my family. But again, I've heard people mention his great steaks. Absolutely great steaks. But his commitment to the community is second to none. He currently was part of a fundraiser in the city of Southgate where we collect funds to give back, to buy purchase gifts for the kids that are in the community. And that's who Rafa is. He's more than just a steakhouse. That's who he is. And I'm glad. I just came back from homicide school. I've been there, all day. I'm tired, but I'm here because I love Rafa, and I know the values that he shares are similar to mine and to many others. So I'm here to support him. I think it's great for the community. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else, and I really didn't hear any opposition. So if we had some opposition, if it exists, the applicant has a chance to rebut any information that you might want to add. So you have a chance to speak again if you'd like, and if not, then we can close this hearing.
Sorry, guys. I know you guys are hungry. But if you want to go to 5861 Firestone Boulevard, Buena Mesa Restaurant, we open until 11 o'clock. You see, after they leave a hearing, you guys leave late, you guys could go over there. Have a good steak. I'll still be open. So, and joking around, I know I was joking right now. I don't know why you guys make me nervous. It's mainly the speakers and all this wonderful support that I got. And I thank you, every single one of you, for coming out on your busy schedules to support our restaurant, our steakhouse. But one of the things is, Art came up earlier and he said, you're right, a lot of people go out far to go to an event, a concert, a game or something, and everything closes pretty early, or they don't want to drive too late. So when they come back, they have Downey. They have our restaurant. They know we'll be open. They know we'll be a destination. Earlier, I didn't mean to put Mastro's all Del Rey down. Not whatsoever. I'm a fan of both, mainly Del Rey. But Del Rey's an institution, and that's where I'm hoping Verdugo Steakhouse will be, an institution like Del Rey. If their cooks and their staff go to eat at my restaurant now, the executive chef of Mastro's come over, and Fleming's eat their steaks at my restaurant at Buena Mesa. Now, that's great and beautiful. The celebrities that go, that's not who I care about. I care about the people that are going to go there 4, 3, 4, 5 times a day. We got literally people that eat there every single day. We have a big menu, by the way. And this is what I want. At the end of the day, I want you to look at me one day and say, you were right. This is my family. Introduce me to them, and I'll personally cook for them. So you could understand the passion and the love we have for food and our community. And again, thank you so much for your time, and thank you, every single one of you. God bless you for coming out and support. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, the public hearing is now closed. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval of PLN 220013 for conditional use permit and the attached resolution.
Thank you. It's now time for the planning commission to deliberate. Does the commission have any questions at this time, or would the commission like to discuss the item? Commissioner Ortiz, a comment, question?
Just a comment. I'm not a big steak eater, so like just point that out. But I appreciate everybody who showed up. The 2 years I've been in planning commissioner, I have not seen this much support for anything that's come forward in front of us. So I welcome you to Downey again, right? Yeah. So as a business owner, and wish you luck, and hopefully this becomes a staple of, and to promote Downey businesses to be just like yours. So this remains consistent to what we approved in previous restaurants, the Chicken Coop, other businesses. So I see that this should be any different from any of the applications that came forward in front of us.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioner Uva, comment, question? question?
No, just on a similar line, I appreciate everybody coming out. It's always great to have people come out to speak both in favor and in opposition of any item on our agendas. I've been on the commission for about a little over a year, and same, I've never seen this many people come out. So that's very good. I appreciate that, and I wish you the best of luck.
And Commissioner Duarte, question, comment?
Comments are pretty similar to everybody else. Appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. I do like when a Downey resident opens a business in Downey. I think that's positive for the community. I'm not a big steak person either, but he said 208 wines, so challenge accepted on that.
Great.
So thank you for having for everybody there. So I'm full in support of this. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm a big steak person, but beyond that, the word that I picked out of the general, comments tonight was philanthropy. And I know this gentleman as a philanthropist. I watch his Facebook as I'm privileged, to share being a friend on his Facebook feed. And I see the giveaways, the ask for coats in the wintertime for individuals, children first, and others that don't have those. When you have an excess of vegetables, come get it. The food giveaways, it's just over the top. I want that for Downey. And I'm happy that you've returned. I'm happy you've chosen that location. To me, it doesn't have the same potential, let's just call them issues, that something downtown may have had, or something not on a major, street like a Florence Avenue. Give me a break. There's going to be enough traffic there that this will be certainly, people will watch, people will enjoy, people will go to. The biggest problem I'm going to have is trying to get a reservation. I can see that right now. You'll be full to the top. So I support this this application. Thank you. So at this time, I'll take a motion and possibly a second.
A motion to pass PLN-22-00133.
Second.
Okay, Chair, at this time, we'll be taking a roll call vote. Commissioner Uva?
Yes.
Commissioner Duarte?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ortiz?
Yes.
And Chair Owens?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes 4-0 to approve PLN 22-00133 for a conditional use permit.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to remind the applicant that the action of the Planning Commission will be final unless the matter is appealed to the City Council with the appropriate fee within the next 15-day period as set forth in the city's municipal code. Next on the agenda is non-agenda public comment. And if you'd like to stay for the balance of the meeting, you can. If you'd like to leave now, you can. Yeah. Everyone to Buena Mesa. Okay, we'll go back in order, back in session here. At this time, it's the non-agenda public comment. This portion of the agenda provides an opportunity for the public to address the Planning Commission on non-agenda consent and other business items within the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission and not listed on the agenda. It is requested but not required that you state your name, address, and subject matter upon which you wish to speak. Please limit your comments for non-agenda items to no more than 4 minutes. pursuant to the Brown Act. No discussion or action other than a brief response or referral to the city planning staff or schedule for a subsequent agenda shall be taken by the Planning Commission on any issue brought forth under this section. Please.
Yes. Boy, I was just kind of shocked at that there was even a question that you would turn him down. I don't know. It seemed a little over the top. But anyway, I think the regulations and the mandates, I think, are something that needs to be addressed. And I think you and the Planning Commission have an opportunity to have some backbone and stand up and do so. Specifically about like mask mandates and vaccine mandates and whether he keeps his business or any business open. It should be free will choice, and you should get out of the way and roll back the regulations and not have any participating activity in such things that are damaging to not just our economy, but to people's lives. And you have the power to approve or disapprove permits in some of these areas. And I don't think these permits should be contingent on the fact of whether they observe a mask mandate, which does nothing for anybody. We all know that now. They've been lying to us since all this started. Masks only stop bacteria. They do not stop viruses. The vaccines do not prevent you from getting sick or ill. They're not vaccines at all. So you shouldn't make it contingent, a permit contingent on the fact of whether he has a permit for vaccinated people or unvaccinated people. That is segregation, is what that is. You're telling certain people they can go into your restaurant or not. And that's absolutely absurd. We're not an authoritarian, dictatorial society. It's free market. If you feel sick and you don't want to go anywhere, stay home. If you want to quit your job and take your chances because you're afraid, then stay home. The mask is only symbolic of your servitude and slavery to the New World Order or the World Economic Forum. And we don't need any of this garbage here in Downey. We want free market capitalism. We want free will choice. We want lower regulations, lower taxation. We want to open it up. Competition between steakhouses is good. It's better for the consumer. The customer gets lower prices and better quality service and better quality of food. Don't be afraid. Stand up. Say no to this garbage that is going on. Okay? Now, for the people at Tacos Don Goyo in that neighborhood, you had an opportunity to move this gentleman over there to another location. There's plenty of locations out there. So now the council's going to put up a permit for the barriers. Well, if they want to do that, then take the barriers down here at Downey and 2nd, between 2nd and 3rd. Get that garbage off the street. Whoever approved that was a big mistake, huge mistake. Get this stuff off the street, move those barriers over there now and see how it works so you can give it a trial run. Okay? We want our parking back over on Downey Avenue. We don't want any permits issued for any patios or anything like that. Move all the patrons inside. Keep the music inside. That should be their experience inside, not spilling out into the gutter. We want our parking back, get the barriers out of there, get all the patios off the street over there. It's unsafe now as it is. And I think it's time that, have some backbone. Don't do what the feckless Chamber of Commerce or the City Council has been doing for the last couple of years. Thank you.
Okay, next item is consent calendar. Seeing nothing on it, we're going to move to the Community Development Director and any additional comments.
No comments.
All right, so at this time, we're adjourned until next regularly scheduled meeting in January.